Hey, I'm Jeanne Marie and I like to make art, and I wanted to show you guys the process from an idea to a final product. Just thought that might be interesting to see how that evolves for somebody. Maybe your process is very strategic, maybe your process is very willy-nilly like mine. Let's get started. One day I was at work and decided to design some logos for my business and came up with some ideas and really loved this floral moon idea. I loved it so much that I decided to take the logo inspiration and turn it into an actual illustration in my sketchbook. And that was fun, using some colored pencils. Thought I would mix it up a little. Still loved the idea, so I decided to then move it over to my iPad and make like a formal illustration, something a little bit more fine-tuned, kind of mess around with color palettes and see if I could come up with something. At this point, I was not thinking logo for this anymore. I was thinking full-on illustration to turn into either a painting on a canvas or a product, like maybe a design on a t-shirt. That's kind of where my mind was at this time. So I was just kind of messing around with the final design and some color palettes to get a more finalized version of this idea kind of finished out. And so I just played around with colors and tried to refine it as much as possible. One of my biggest issues is like doing too much, so I'm always trying to refine and simplify. And I came up with a couple ideas, and this is what they look like. Very simple, very neutral. But I wasn't really like in love with that. I'm not a digital artist, so I didn't love them looking at them digitally. So I thought I would then take that design that I had refined and go back to the sketchbook and make a new painting. So this is the part of the process that is my favorite. Coming up with the ideas is a good 8 out of 10, but my favorite part is the actual painting process. That's a 10/10 for me. And so I just love this. You can see the joy on my face here. It's the passion. That's the passion. Look at the passion. Can you see the passion? So I decided to use gouache for this study. And I ended up not really falling in love with this painting. I don't know if it was the colors that I used, or maybe I was just kind of sick of working on it at this point. But I decided that I did not want to keep working on this project. So I just left it as a painting in my sketchbook and put a pin in it until I was ready to come back to it. But then one day I had an idea. I thought about that first original logo that I made, and the moon was a lot thinner and sleeker and more delicate and feminine in design. So I thought I would go back to the drawing board, i.e. the iPad in Procreate, and redo the drawing one more time. I made the flowers bigger and I made the moon smaller. So again, constantly refining and editing the things that you don't like about it and figuring out what's bothering you and what you don't like and changing it to something that you do like. And so I came up with this design in this color palette, and it felt more like me. So I felt comfortable leaving it at that. So this design has been patiently waiting for me to come back to it in Procreate for a very long time. And now that I have taught myself how to make stickers, I decided to use this design for a new product in my shop. But the point is that when I was making the logo designs, there wasn't any intentions of turning that into a product. So like your ideation phase is different than the product making phase. Like some people, maybe they start out like, I'm gonna make this specific product. But for me, this kind of just unfolded in a different way. I was just making ideas. Then I decided to do a sketch, and then a digital sketch, and then I went back and did another painting in my sketchbook, and then did another digital version, and then now here we are at the place that I decided to make a product. So it's not necessarily a straight line, from I'm gonna make this to I'm gonna produce this product. I like to add a layer of laminate to my stickers so that they're waterproof, and before I put them into the cutting machine. So I just do all this by hand right now because I'm just starting my business and starting slow. But it's actually a nice meditative process. I actually enjoy the manufacturing of products as well. So I did learn that. I have learned that about myself. I was really torn in the beginning of starting my business if I wanted to outsource products or make my own products, and I had to just pick a way to go. And I chose to do my own product making at this time. But the amount of joy that I felt seeing my art turn into physical products is such a very happy feeling. It's like tying your idea up in a nice little tidy bow, like you finished this project. I'm very happy with this design and how it turned out. I was so happy with it, in fact, that I decided to turn it into a print as well. I had to do a little bit of scaling in Photoshop to make sure that it looked good in print format, but not tons of color correction or anything like that. It was pretty simple process. I decided to make it in 2 colors, this really light pink, kind of monochromatic vibe that I love so much, and the cute little sticker as well. But the original had this dark burgundy, like desaturated color, and so I wanted to see that in print as well. So if you guys have made it to this part in the video, let me know which color you prefer, the dark background or the light background. Let me know in the comments. I think I prefer the dark background, but there's just something cute about the light pink background, and it's like very neutral vibes that I'm really into. Thank you for spending your time with me. I will see you in another video. Take care. Bye bye now.